to start. We got so many tremendously talented fighters up here. This is really what makes these Superfly shows so special, is you get this world-class talent, all this world-class talent on one show. Not only do we have the HBO triple header, but we have a tremendous undercard for everyone. So the doors open at 4 o'clock at the Forum. This is going to be another one of those shows where the fans just get a lot of value. When we have tickets starting at $25, we try to really price this show correctly and for the fans, get as many fans down to the Forum as possible. There's a lot of people I need to thank that were part of putting this together. When you have so many great fighters coming from all over the world, all corners of the world, it takes a lot of logistics, a lot of planning, just really a lot of teamwork to put this together. With that, I want to really thank HBO. HBO is the platform that's responsible for the Superfly series. This is the 3rd installment of Superfly. It really came about when Chocolatito Gonzalez was fighting together with Triple G on the shows. It was the top 2 pound-for-pound fighters on the same show. Then when we did the rematch with Chocolatito and Rungesai, Sol Rungesai, that's what launched Superfly 1. Then we had Estrada versus Rungesai, and now we have Juan Francisco Estrada headlining the show against Oro Pluta. So the great thing about these series is that everyone, all these fighters are willing to fight each other. Unlike the heavier divisions, where they're want to delay the fights. HBO is a great platform. These fighters all recognize the opportunity being on HBO, and so that's how we get these talented fighters, on the same show. With that, I want to introduce. I want to bring up Tony Walker from HBO. Tony, you want to come up and say a few words?
Thanks a lot, Tom. I'd like to, on behalf of Peter Nelson, the Executive Vice President of HBO Sports, and the rest of the HBO staff, thank all of you for coming. We really appreciate the media support this fight and the Superfly series has gotten. Its attention well deserved by all the great fighters on this dais. We think we have the formula for a great weekend. First, we're at the Forum, an iconic venue. I want to thank the folks at Madison Square Garden and the Forum for hosting this fight again. We know it's going to be a great show. We have our award-winning broadcast team, great production staff, and we have the fighters. It's amazing the unending supply of world-class fighters that are willing to fight in this weight class. We've done 3 shows now, multiple championship fights, and I think only Juan Estrada is the only fighter who's been on all 3 shows. So we look for another great Saturday night and some person making their way to the top. All of this is only possible because of Tom Loeffler and his 360 promotion staff, who goes across the globe finding fighters, finding people willing to work with him. So we want to thank Tom and just ask him to keep it up. We start on the air at 9:45 Eastern Time. So that means that here locally, the first punch on HBO will be a few minutes past 6:45. And after live boxing on Saturday night, you're going to see 24/7 Canelo Triple G2, where Jim Lampley, Daniel Jacobs, and Freddie Roach analyze the upcoming September 15th pay-per-view show. It all adds up to a great night of boxing on HBO, and we really appreciate everybody here, and hope to see you Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. This is, this show, I mean, you see with the media turnout, with all the cameras in the back, this show has really gotten a lot of attention. We couldn't do it without our lead sponsor, with Tecate. Tecate has been very supportive of the sport of boxing. They've sponsored all of our shows, all of the Superfly series shows, so we really want to thank them. The doors open, as I mentioned, 4 o'clock. The terrace at the Forum opens at 3 o'clock. That's a great venue. To get there early, you get to see all the great fighters at the show. Also, before before I get into introducing some more principles, I just want to thank everyone internally on our side. Having these great fighters flying in from all over the world, from Puerto Rico, from Japan, from the Philippines, from Mexico, it just it's really takes a lot of work, a lot of teamwork with their promoters, with their managers, with all the teams. I want to thank Erica St. Philip, who's my right-hand person. Without her, these shows wouldn't be possible. Torsten Meyer of the Life in Motion Group that keeps everything together. Roy Engelbrecht, Melissa Mosco, Bondi Nicola, Mike Stiles. The list goes on and on. Just everyone that really helps doing the shows. Bernie Marcel does the publicity. Ricardo Menendez. There's so many people involved. So without the internal team, it would be difficult to put these shows together. Andrea Smith, I see Andrea's in the back there. So with that, I want to just start out with someone whose father I had a very dear and close relationship with. Mauricio Suleiman has taken over, following in his father's footsteps. There'll never be another Don Jose Suleiman, but Mauricio is really leading the WBC as capably and just as experienced as possible. So with that, I want to bring up Pepe Suleiman to say a few words on behalf of the whole
Good afternoon, everyone. It takes a very creative mind and a lot of work to come out with this concept, the Superfly 3. Now, not Superfly 3. The WBC is very, very happy and thrilled to be here, surrounded by so much glory. And we are 100% supportive. It's, a combination of Tom, 360 Promotions, HBO, that's the best that we can have, So I just want to wish all the boxers, WBC, we have of course three WBC fights in the card, with Estrada and Urruta, Yoka and Arroyo and Houghton and Flores. But we are thrilled about the whole fight, the whole card. There's gonna be terrific fight night. So I just wish the best of luck to all the fighters. And thank you very much, and the WBC support is 100%. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pepe. Your speeches are a lot shorter than your father's. For anyone that's been to a WBC convention. With these great matchups, Elvis knows we need to do a few. These great matchups, the main event is a WBC official eliminator. The winner of Estrada and Urruta will be the mandatory challenger for Sister Ket Sorong Isaac. We have Donnie Nietes fighting against Aston Palate. That's for the vacant WBO World Championship. We have Williams Arroyo defending his WBC silver title against Kazuto Ioka. A lot of people are looking forward to seeing Ioka on his show. They've heard so many things about him. He has legendary status in Japan, and now with the exposure on HBO, we're looking forward to tremendous things from him. I want to thank Taku for making that possible, working together with Kazuto and Williams Arroyo. This is his second time on the Superfly series. He had a tremendous win over Carlos Quadras on Superfly 2, and that earned him the shot to come back on Superfly 3. So that's what I'm saying, all these talented fighters, you can mix and match and you get so many great matchups. Even on the undercard, there's 2 championship fights, 2 title fights that aren't even going to be on HBO, but they'll be streamed, they'll be available to the public. We have Bang Bang Lulu Houghton fighting Brenda Flores. That's for the WBC Atomweight Championship. And then we have Bruno Escalante fighting against Alexander Marin for the vacant IBF Intercontinental Championship. So, having 5 championship fights on a show like this is accomplishment. So not only do we have to deal with the fighters, the promoters, their teams, all the sanctioning bodies, the officials, want to give a very special thanks to the California Athletic Commission, Andy Foster, and all the great work that he does here regulating boxing and combat sports in the state of California. So with that, I'd like to bring up someone that we've done a number of fights together. This fight wouldn't have been possible without the help of Zanfer Promotions. We've done, as mentioned, we did a lot of fights together. We did the Salido fight together last year at Mandalay Bay. He represents Jaime Munguia, who's actually fighting the next week. Was a potential Triple G opponent, but we've seen that Jaime Munguia has had two great victories on HBO. Jaime will be on the pay-per-view broadcast for the following week. I want to bring up Juan Carlos Torres of Zanfer Promotions.
Hello everybody, welcome to the press conference. Thanks for being here. On behalf of Zanfer, I really want to thank everybody involved, of course HBO, Tecate, 360, Tom. Thanks for let us be a part of all the 3 Superflies cards. Really, boxing Superfly has been probably lately synonymous with the word great. You know, the first Superfly. You know, I remember everybody saying that was the most completed fight of that year. Then the Superfly 2, we had a fight of the year candidate. This card right now, no exception. You know, from the first fight, a 6-rounder is gonna be a Mexican star, Mexican Olympian, Joselito Velasquez, probably one of the best prospects of Mexico, fighting against a kid from Tijuana, Juan Flores. So from that first fight, then the first televised fight with Ioka and Arroyo, it's got a, you know, possibly the fight of the year right there. Of course, Donny Nietes, I've been a fan of Donny Nietes. I worked with Michael Alderer for many of Donny's fights. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's been getting every record over there in the Philippines. He's been a champion for I don't know how much, you know, how long. So the card is completed, you know, and obviously the main event with Gallo Lucuta, with Galito Lucuta, we had the pleasure of promoting him for many of his fights. We know him, we know he comes to fight. He's always well prepared. He's been fighting in Argentina for titles. He's been all over the world fighting, and we know he brings a lot. But the reality is that Estrada, Juan Francisco Estrada, his prime, the prime of his career is right now. And I remember talking to Tom about doing this fight, and he offered many fights before this one. And we were talking to Juan Hernandez, and they always said no. They wanted the rematch against Rubinside. And he said, well, Rubinside might not fight till probably later in the year. He said, I don't care, I want to wait for that fight. So Estrada is in the prime of his career. He's a very competitive guy. We know we're going to see the best of him in this fight. It's going to be a tremendous fight, and I hope to see you there on Saturday. And for everybody that doesn't not be there, I hope you tune in to HBO. So thank you to everyone, and hope to see you there.
Thanks, JC. When you have Joselito Lopez, a Mexican Olympian, as the very first fight on the show, you know this is going to be special. There's a couple more fighters on the undercard. Mario Ramos from San Diego, he's going to be on the show. And Jonathan Escobar, who's actually a sparring partner for Triple G. The last day of sparring is going to be tomorrow on Friday, and then he's going to be fighting the next day on Saturday. So he brings a lot of fans with him. So with that, I want to introduce, I want to bring up for the IBF Intercontinental title. This is a great matchup. If you look at this on paper, it's one of those true. A lot of people, you hear to say 50-50 matchups, but I think when you look at this, both of these guys are fighting to move up, fighting to win this Intercontinental title. Bruno Escalante versus Alexandro Marin. With that, I want to bring up Bruno Escalante to say a few words.
Alright, hello everyone. First, I want to thank God for being healthy to fight this Saturday. Also want to thank Tom Loeffler and 360 Promotions for giving me this opportunity to fight for this card, the Superfly 3. Back in February, I was here watching the Superfly 2, and I told some reporters that I want to be in the Superfly 3, and here I am now. Fighting for the IBF Intercontinental Championship. I just want to also thank Danny Zamora for helping us get this fight. I want to thank my coaches, Michael Basil, Miguel Rios. Just a year and a half ago, I was in the crossroad where if I should retire or continue to fight. But my two coaches motivated me to continue to fight. And here I am today. I fought 4 times since. I just been my 4th time, 4 different promoters, and I'm just really blessed to be here fighting on Saturday for the IBF Intercontinental. I want to also thank my sponsors, SNAC, Scientific Nutrition for Advanced Conditioning, for Chiropractic, Pinnacle Construction, Pizzeria and Forum, and Cash the Wonder Horse. Thank you. Also, about the fight, if you haven't got your tickets yet, get your tickets because it's going to be explosive. Just my fight alone is going to be explosive because the guy I'm fighting, he's undefeated. We have to beat each other up for this fight to move up to the world title. So you're gonna see 2 hungry fighters be fighting for the championship. So if you haven't have your ticket yet, get your tickets because it's gonna be explosive. We have a great world champion on HBO, Estrada, Dani Nieves, and elected 2 Filipino fighters. If you're gonna be in the area, make sure you get your tickets. All right, hello.
Bruno was asking about being on the next show, and it worked out that way. But it's a tough fight against Alexandro Marin. We've known Danny Zamora for a long time. We appreciate his help in putting the fight together, and as I said, Mike Basil with SNAC training. Acknowledge them up there. And my understanding is Bruno's bringing a lot of fans down from Northern California to watch the fight. So this is right before the HBO broadcast. So with that, I want to bring up, he's managed by a close friend of mine, Nathan Peak, who's, and Ethan Lederer, who, they've been really pushing to get Alexandra also on the Superfly show. So not only do you have the 3 Superfly fights on the HBO, this is a 4th championship fight right before the HBO broadcast. And again, it'll be streamed internationally, worldwide. So with that, I want to bring up Alexandra Marin.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for everybody. And thank you, 360 Promoter, Tom Loeffler. Appreciate for to be here. Appreciate for respect my opponent. And let's see what happens on Saturday night. I'm ready 100%. Thank you guys.
We always support female boxing. We work with Cecilia Reclus, who's, besides Alexander Usyk, the only undisputed champion in the sport of boxing. And here we have a special addition to the show, special feature, I would say. 2 very marketable, very attractive ladies fighting each other, but not only the way they carry themselves outside the ring and the way they speak outside the ring, but also the way they fight inside the ring. Lisa Houghton, who's fought on a number of our shows, 8-1, 4 knockouts, fighting Brenda Flores from Tijuana, 12-4 with 2 knockouts. So this will be a great fight. This is for the vacant, it's actually interim WBC atomweight championship. For those of you that don't know atomweight, because I didn't know before this fight was made, it's 102 pounds. So this will be an exciting fight between 2 great female warriors. We're really looking forward to that. I want to bring up Brenda Flores to say a few words.
Hola, buenas días o tardes ya a todos. Muchas gracias por todos los medios de comunicación que están aquí. Muchas gracias a la promotora que me dio la oportunidad de hoy estar aquí y pelear por el título, un título del cual desde hace 6 años que empecé como peleadora amateur. Soñaba con él, me hice profesional y hoy mi sueño está por cumplirse. Agradeciendo a todos ustedes por esto. Eloisa, un gusto pelear con ella, una peleadora a la cual incluso yo admiraba por su bonito estilo que tiene ella, por su rapidez. Igual, muchas gracias. Yo estoy muy contenta, estoy muy satisfecha. No creo en la suerte, siempre lo he dicho, creo en la preparación, creo en el trabajo. Y bueno, yo me preparé muy bien para esta pelea, concentrada. Mi equipo, ¿voy a hablar? ¿Qué es? ¿Principio?
Good afternoon to everyone. I'm just very happy to be here. It's a great opportunity for me. I want to thank everyone that made it possible. 6 years ago when I started boxing, my dream was to fight for a WBC title, which I'm going to be doing this Saturday. I thank everyone for this opportunity. I know Luisa. I know she's a very good fighter. She's very fast. I really do respect her and I admire her way she fights. So I'm looking forward to training with her.
Esta vez, sí, incluso nunca he peleado en un peso de las 102 libras. He peleado en 105, he peleado mi peso real, son unos 49 kilos en las cuales siempre he peleado, pero siempre tenía la oportunidad de bajar más.
I never fought at this lower weight. It's the first fight that I'm going to fight at 102. I fought at 105 before. Actually, my weight is actually the 108, 112. So it's going to be a challenge to make the 102.
Y cuando se me dio la oportunidad que me dijeron, está esta pelea en las 102 libras, en peso átomo, inmediatamente sonreí y dije, muchos me dijeron, no vas a poder dar el peso, y yo dije, yo creo en mí, creo en lo que hago, y bueno, soy una persona muy disciplinada, creo que lo demostré, y en cuanto me dijeron peleas por ese título, dije, nunca pregunté con quién, nunca pregunté en nada, sino dije, ¿cuándo es?
When they told me about the fight, the 102 pounds came up, and I said, no problem, I'll make it. This is a dream for me. I didn't even ask when, where, who. I just wanted to fight.
Inmediatamente me fui al gimnasio con mi sonrisa grandota por la oportunidad. Me dediqué 100% en una preparación física y una preparación técnica, y creo que por primera vez mi promotora y todo el equipo me dio la oportunidad de prepararme para una pelea de título del mundo, ya que el 2 de diciembre tuve la oportunidad también de pelear en la Ciudad de México por el título del mundo, pero no había tenido incluso esta preparación, incluso lo di todo, pero me faltó aire, ¿no?
And this preparation has been a really world-class preparation. The first time I fought for a world title in December of last year, I was not as well prepared for a championship fight, and it showed in that fight. The altitude got to me at the end, but for this fight, when they told me about it, I was a little big. I knew I had to go down in weight, talk to my team, and we've been working very hard. We prepare very hard.
Estoy muy contenta de que esta promotora, incluso ya haga boxeo de mujeres. Eso indica que el boxeo femenil está fuerte, y yo muy muy feliz de estar aquí y el sábado regresarme a Tijuana siendo campeona del mundo. Gracias.
And of course, the promoters now giving us an opportunity to female fighting in this great card, and I'm taking my belt to Tijuana after the fight.
We can sit here and listen to Brenda and Lulu speak all day. So with that, managed by Grand Ellis Phillips, I want to bring up former world champion. She had won her world title over in Japan, and now she's looking to win a second world title. Most champions go up in weight. She's coming down in weight to 102 pounds to go for her second world championship. So I want to bring up Bagman Lulu Houghton from Australia.
Woo! G'day guys, how you going? Thanks for coming out. I'm so happy to be here and be fighting on the Superfly dream card amongst these great fighters. It's awesome that Tom is getting behind women's boxing and giving us a platform to showcase our skills and our talent, and I'm very grateful for that. To fight for the WBC atomweight title has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I did go up in weight, but it's always been this belt that I've had my eyes on. So I'm very, very excited to be here, especially to be fighting at the Forum again in front of everybody. And I'd like to thank, firstly, Elvis Grant for connecting the dots and really working really hard to make my dreams possible and to give me this opportunity. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I'd also like to thank my team for coming out. Chris, all the way from New York. Elliot, running around doing all the behind the scenes. And Jimmy Montoya. And also 360 for embracing me and giving me this time to be able to be a part of this group. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. I'd like to say g'day to Australia. What's up? Tune in, guys. The live feed's going to be coming, so make sure that you get in and have a look at that. I'd like to also thank the crew at Jerry Ortiz's gym, Myra and Caleb McBurn, and they're like my family out here, and it's a blessing to have them and be around so many beautiful people. It makes coming across from Australia and missing my family a little bit easier. So thank you guys for embracing me. This is going to be an exciting fight. Brenda, she can fight. She's fought the championship fights. She's going to be throwing a lot of punches. It's going to be high pace, and it's going to be a lot of action. So I suggest that everybody gets in a little bit early, just so you can catch this fight, because you don't want to miss it. And make sure you're tuning in at home, around the world, in the Philippines. Jump on that live feed. We got something to give you guys that might be a little bit different to seeing the men all the time. So, this is our place, and we belong here as well. So everybody, I'd like to say, just sit back or sit on the edge of your seat and enjoy the show. Thanks, guys. It's time to get that dream.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss that fight. Again, the terrace opens at 3 o'clock, the doors open at 4 o'clock. The tailgating will start at 2 o'clock. The Forum is world famous now for their tailgate parties, so looking forward to all the fans coming down early. That's going to be a lot of action in this fight. This might actually steal the show from the men's fight. So don't miss Brenda and Lulu. One thing, you learn a lot of things as you're going through promotion. One thing I learned about Lulu is that her mother's from the Philippines, so not only does she have Australian fans, she's got Philippine fans as well. She showed up for the Philippine event at the community center, and it's just an exciting fight that we're looking forward to having on the show. With that, I want to move on to the HBO fights. All these, as I said, the Superfly series has tremendous matchups. This is an HBO triple header. When you have the first fight of the triple header being between Kazuto Ioka versus McWilliams Arroyo, you know it's a quality show. The HBO broadcast, as Tony said, it starts at 6:45. These two warriors are fighting for the WBC Silver Championship, so whoever wins this fight not only moves up dramatically, but also positions themselves for a great fight the next time. So that's what McWilliams did. He beat Cuadras. Now he's back on HBO, and you know, in a great highlighted fight. So with that, I want to bring up someone who was on the Puerto Rican Olympic team. Just reading Bernie's notes here. He's as I mentioned, he had a great victory over Carlos Cuadras, and now he'll be defending his WBC Silver Championship. I want to bring up McWilliams Arroyo.
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank God for this great opportunity. I'm happy to be here again in Superfly 3. I want to thank all the fighters. I know you guys are going to do an excellent job. And I'm very happy to be here again in California. I want to thank Tom Lawford, HBO, and WBC. I've worked very hard all my life. So expect an excellent fight. I know that Kazuto Ioka is a great fighter. So we prepared very well for him, and I believe this could be the fight of the night. So enjoy it and have fun. Thank you.
With that, I want to bring up someone who's reached legendary status in Japan. He had retired last year, but a lot of fans wanted to see him back in the ring. He actually came, I didn't realize that Kazuto came to Superfly 2. He actually bought tickets to come to the Superfly 2 show at the Forum. And then I had a meeting with Taku, who came to the office and said, Kazuto wants to be on Superfly 3. I talked to Peter Nelson at HBO, and we're really excited to have this matchup between McWilliams Arroyo and Kazuto Ioka. This could be the fight of the night. Very exciting between these two experienced and established warriors, one from Puerto Rico, one from Japan. So I want to bring up Kazuto, and Taku will translate for Kazuto.
Good afternoon. 360 Promotions HBO 関係者の皆さんに感謝しているので、9月8日セプテンバーアイスは盛り上がる試合できるように全力を尽くしたいと思います。
On 360 and HBO, I look forward to bringing an exciting match with Arroyo together on that night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kazuto. Now we have the co-feature. This is going to be for a vacant WBO World Championship. Boy, this is an interesting matchup. We've had Donnie Nietes on Superfly 2. He had a tremendous victory. Donnie's a 3-division world champion. He's moving up to the super flyweight division. He's going to be fighting Aston Palete. When you look at these guys train, we were at the Filipino American Community Center. We were at Freddie Roach's Wildcard Gym. And two guys that really like to promote this fight. When you saw Donnie getting the mitts down there at the Wildcard Gym, you could tell he was punching very hard. When you see Aston, as tall as he is, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. The height versus the power and the boxing. This is one that I'm really looking forward to on this show. Again, it's a co-feature. It's for the WBO World Championship, Super Flyweight Division. I want to give a special acknowledgement to Roy Jones Jr. Promotions. They promote Aston, and we're very easy to work with. This fight scheduled to take place in the Philippines. Actually last month in August 18th, and when I was going over the matchups with Peter Nelson, I said, you know what, this is such a great matchup. We just had Donnie Nietes on Superfly 2, that we should put this fight on Superfly 3. And he was 100% supportive. I called up Ala Promotions, who promotes Donnie Nietes, who we worked with before on Superfly 2. Then I called up, as I mentioned, Roy Jones Jr. Promotions, and they were all for it. They realized the significance of being on this HBO platform that we broadcast all over the world, and you see the success of guys like Chocolatito, you see success of guys like Juan Francisco Estrada, of Sister Ket Sorungasai, changes their lives to be on HBO, and so they jumped at the opportunity to shift this fight back just about a month to be on this show. So with that, I'm really excited and proud to bring up Aston Politic.
First of all, I'd like to thank God, my manager, Jason Zoom, thank you so much. I'm happy. Rogers Promotion, Sir Kid, Beltry, Sir Guy, Taylor, thank you so much. HBO, 360 Promotion, thank you so much. My team, Coach Fidel, Coach Stanley, Coach Steve, thank you so much. Team Nietes. Sa lahat po ng laban ko simula dati, maliit pa ako hanggang lumaki ako. Pangarap ko maging lumaban ng World Championship. Lumaban ng championship, manalo ng World Championship, at masaya ako, emotional ako kasi hindi ko kalahin dito na ako ngayon dahil sa hirap ko.
Ever since I was a kid, I always dreamt of fighting for a world championship, and I'm super happy to be given this opportunity right now.
Lahat ng mga kalaban ko, or pinapangarap ko dati mga kalaban, the best, world champion, kahit sparring lang, masaya po ko at proud po ko sa sarili ko, at malaban ko dati, yun, gusto ko talaga makalaban yung mga the best, so world champion. Kasi win or lose, proud po ako sa sarili ko na nakalaban ko sila. Na-enjoy ko po yung boxing.
Ever since I was a kid, I always dreamt of going up against great boxers, and I'm thankful for this opportunity to be actually part of one, to be up against Donnie Nietes.
Yung labang ngayon, kahit sabihin natin dalawa kami Pilipino, trabaho lang po, trabaho lang. Gagawin ko ng best ko para maging fight the night. Wala pong sa taas ng ring, trabaho lang, walang Pilipino, pagkatapos na laban. Yun, magkibigan, pero promise po sa laban sa Sabado, tingin ko lahat ng best ko, para sa manager ko, para sa promoter ko, family ko, lahat.
Even though we are both Filipinos, during the fight on Saturday, I will still give my best. I'm gonna do my job, box, and this fight is for everyone, for the country, for my team, for my family.
Lahat po ng hirap ko sa training, lahat binuhos ko po kailaban. Yung sacrifice na ng manager ko, simula nung start ako, yun, sobrang thank you na ako sa Rogers Promotion. Thank you na lang.
Thank you for the opportunity. All the sacrifices will boil down to this match on Saturday. Hopefully, we can bring home the belt.
Sana po, supportahan nyo kami sa Sabado. Salamat namin. Salamat po, with Donnie Nietes. Thank you so much. Promotions. Lahat ng sumuporta, thank you so much po.
Thank you for the support. Please watch and support the match this coming Saturday. Thank you.
God bless.
Thanks, Aston. Again, just want to acknowledge Guy Taylor of Roy Jones Promotions. Very easy to work with. We made the fight very quickly. They were able to reschedule it, and we're excited to have this World Championship fight on show. I see Doug Fisher in the back there, Ring Magazine, editor-in-chief. Doug Fisher has the Ring Magazine. If we can give Doug a round of applause. He's taken over the reins at Ring Magazine, and really, we feel has a quality product. Doug, who's the Ring Magazine pound-for-pound champion right now?
I think that would be Triple G.
Doug's doing a great job over there at Ring Magazine. The reason why I brought up Doug Fisher is because Ring Magazine has Donnie Nietes rated number 9 in their pound-for-pound ratings. If you can imagine all the fighters in the world being ranked number 9 as a super flyweight, as a 115-pound champion, is really a special acknowledgement. Donnie Nietes is a 3-time world champion. He's also moving up in weight to be for his 4th division world championship. So he moved up to 115 pounds to take this fight. A lot of people who were at the Filipino Community Center, they were a little bit, they weren't so excited about seeing 2 Filipinos fighting against each other. They'd rather see, one fighting against a different nationality. But the good thing is that the Philippines, with such a great tradition of boxing, is guaranteed to have another world champion as a Filipino represent their country on Saturday night. So we're excited about that. Again, Donnie Nietes is promoted by Allah Promotions, Michael Ollinger. We have a great relationship with, and again, from Allah Promotions side, they were very easy to work with to put this fight together. So I want to bring up to say a few words, Editito Villamor. He can say a few words, and he'll also translate for Donnie Nietes.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of Allah Promotions President CEO Michael Oliver, we would like to thank ABCBN, HBO, Petro Nelson, the 360 Promotions, Tom Loeffler, for making Donnie as a part of Superfly series. Donnie started at the Allah Gym as a janitor, but because of his humility, discipline, and hard work, he is what he is today. So without further ado, we are humbly and proud to introduce to you and welcome the longest Filipino world champion, 11 years and running, and 3 division world champion, Donnie Nietes.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank God. He gave me a strength and good condition today. I would like personally thanks WBO, HBO, 360 Promotion, Renee Nelson, and Tom Loeffler to this opportunity to be part of Superfly series. I want to thank my manager and my mentor, Antonio Oliver, and my promoter, Michael Oliver, and chief trainer, Edmond Villamor, and matchmaker, Edito Villamor, and the ABCBN and my family. And to the WBO, to the support of my career, this is a dream come true for me. To be fighting for a 4th division world title. we will put up a great show with Aston. Thank you and God bless.
Before Donnie leaves, I just wanted to ask him, Donnie, how did you get your nickname, Ahas? I'm curious.
Before I get my nickname of Ahas or Snake, before during I'm a janitor at the gym or utility, I take care of the pet, my manager. Then after go to the vaccine, I bring the snake inside the ring during the fight. Thank you so much.
I learned something new every day. I learned that Ahas means snake, but now I know. So you brought in a snake in the ring. Okay, here we go. This is the moment we've all been waiting for now. Moving into the main event. As we mentioned before, Juan Francisco Estrada, the only boxer to have competed on all 3 Superfly shows. This is, again, for the right. This fight is for the right to challenge Sisterket Sorungasai. So if Estrada wins, he will have the guaranteed rematch with Sorungasai. If Felipe Oracuta wins, this is a huge opportunity for Felipe. This will be his first time on HBO. He'll be fighting to have the right to guarantee him a title fight. So, 2 great Mexican warriors fighting against each other. Juan Francisco had an article in LA Times today. He's been getting a tremendous amount of publicity. And, he was on the ESPN Deportes show with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. And Sr. said Juan Francisco is his favorite fighter from Mexico. So that's a huge compliment from legendary Chavez Sr. So with that, I want to bring up, he's promoted by Promociones del Pueblo, Osvaldo Quicle. I want to bring up Felipe Oracuta.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Quisiera comenzar dando las gracias a todos los que hicieron posible porque hoy en día yo esté aquí.
I want to thank
Don
everyone
Robert,
for
HBO, Gallo Estrada por la oportunidad que nos da de pelear con él, a mis promotores Mariano de León y Osvaldo Cucre, a mi equipo de trabajo que hicimos una gran preparación, creo que es la mejor preparación que hemos hecho en toda mi carrera, y sobre todo a mi familia, ya que pues, ellos son el motor de mi vida y sin ellos este motor no arranca.
Thank everyone, my team, my promoters, Tom Loeffler, 360, obviously Estrada for giving me the opportunity to fight him, my family who are really the people that make me do what I need to do.
Me gustaría comentarles que esta pelea para mí es un sueño hecho realidad, ya que deseaba tanto estar en una gran cartelera y pues hoy en día se me da esta oportunidad enfrentando a un gran rival y en el Forum de Nuevo creo que no hay nada mejor que me pudo haber sucedido. Estoy muy contento, estoy muy feliz por esta gran oportunidad y no los voy a defraudar.
This is a great opportunity, a dream come true for me. Being in a great card, he's a great champion in a great venue like the Forum, and I assure you, I will give you my best.
Les puedo prometer que esta pelea va a ser una guerra arriba del ring entre 2 mexicanos. Me preparé muy fuerte a la conciencia, hice todo a pie de la letra y vengo a buscar una victoria como de lugar. Es la pelea de mi vida y por lo que he trabajado todo este tiempo es mi momento y vengo muy bien preparado. Gracias por el tiempo.
I promise you, I come as well prepared as I ever come for a fight. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, the biggest fight of my life, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Felipe. Now I want to bring up someone who we've worked with again for all 3 fights in the Superfly series. He's the manager of Juan Francisco Estrada. he works closely with Zam for promotions. So I want to bring up Juan Hernandez to say a few words and to introduce Estrada.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you guys for joining us today and for supporting this series, Superflies. We were starting to feel like at home now in LA. It's Estrada's fourth fight here in LA. He's had some of his biggest fights here. First against Chocolatito, and then Cuadras, Saturday Sept, and now this fight. I think this has all the ingredients to be another classic Estrada fight. I think Orokuta is a very underrated fighter. He's, I think, a lot more dangerous than people may think. He might not be very popular because he hasn't fought in the States, but he's from Mexico City. Mexico City fighters are known for their heart, their endurance. He has a great corner. His trainer, Tiburcio Garcia, is one of Mexico's best trainers. He used to train one of Mexico's legends, Jose Luis Castillo. So they're definitely a dangerous opponent. Orokuta knows that he's one win away from possibly dethroning Estrada and fighting for the title, so he's very dangerous. But Estrada's also ready for that. He's aware of the risks. I want to take this opportunity to thank his trainers, Alfredo Caballero and Alvaro Salcido. They did a great job in preparing him for this fight. They all went to the mountains of Mexico, by Mexico City, Iquipilco. They made the sacrifice. They leave their family behind for weeks. But Estrada's at 100% preparation for this fight because of the importance. We're grateful to everybody involved, to HBO, for allowing Estrada to headline his own Superfly. For his first Superfly, I think he earned it. He's the only fighter to be on the 3 Superflies because of his 2 other battles, his classic fight against Cuadras, and then even better, a potential candidate for Fight of the Year against Saturday Sept. So we're very happy to be here again. We want to thank our partners, Promociones Sanfer, 360. They actually have a confession for Tom. So exactly a year ago was Superfly 1, and then a week after that was Canelo Triple G. I was rooting for Canelo because I'm Mexican, but 3 Superflies later, next week I'm going to be all Team Triple G. They've been a pleasure to work with, him, Erica. It's been a nice ride, and hopefully we can keep it going. Hopefully Estrada can win this fight. We can do the rematch with Saturday Sept. Estrada wants a rematch with Chocolatito, and he wants to get back to being considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters when he becomes a champion again. So now I'll quickly introduce to you Estrada. I'm going to try to compete with Enito's presentation of Vienes. So I'll introduce you to considered by many, including Julio César Chávez Sr., the best fighter in Mexico, Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Muchas gracias por estar aquí.
Thank you for being here.
Estoy muy contento pues para mí es una gran oportunidad también, es una eliminatoria del Campeonato del Mundo del CMB y pues muy contento por esta oportunidad.
You know, very happy to be here, especially I know how important a fight it is, an elimination bout for the WBC.
Agradecer a mi empresa, a mi Sport, a Juan Hernández por la oportunidad, a mi equipo de trabajo que hicimos una gran preparación, a 360 Promotion por la oportunidad.
I want to thank Juan Hernandez, Latin Promotion, my team, they did a great job, and of course 360.
Pues como dije, tengo una gran preparación de trabajo, la última mes y medio estuvimos en la altura y pues vengo con las ganas de ser campeón del mundo de nuevo y yo creo que este es un gran reto para mí. También agradecer al equipo de Orokuta por la oportunidad, porque como digo es una oportunidad para mí.
So I prepared very well. I went up 6 weeks up in the altitude. Great preparation because I know what I'm up against. I want to thank Felipe for coming up with the fight me. It's a real challenge for me.
Yo creo que este sábado van a disfrutar de una gran cartelera, ya que hay buenos y buenas peleadoras.
I want to tell you that you're going to be enjoying a great night of fights. There's some great fighters in this and great women fighters too.
Los invitarlos a que no se pierdan esta pelea este sábado 8 de septiembre. Vamos a dar una gran pelea. Gracias.
I invite you to come out on September 8th to see a great, great fight.
Thank you, Juan Francisco. This main event is El Gallo versus El Gallito. Their nicknames, so it's a tremendous fight that we're looking forward to. Chocolatito, who this series was really modeled against. He's fighting a week later, so he'll be fighting on the Triple G Canelo pay-per-view show. We're looking forward to him getting back into the ring. So many great fights right now in the super flyweight division. Again, the tickets start at $25. I think with their ticket fee, it works out to like $31, something like that. But to be in the lower bowl at the Forum, the ringside seats on the floor are only $150. It's a tremendous value seeing all this world class talent here. The doors open at 4 o'clock with all these great undercard fights. Don't be late. Make sure you tell everyone, all your friends, to come early. And we'll look forward to seeing everyone at the fights. I think Roy has an announcement before we pose the fighter.